What is good with it? It is right here. Today we will be doing the Pack-a-Punch every SMG in COD World at War. Now, you may be thinking that this is obviously a copy of Tim Hansen's video, which, no. I kind of just wanted to do this to challenge myself, and also just... I am far too lazy to do it in every game at the moment. And also, this is more of a test video to see if everything's working. Kill some zombies here. So yeah, there are, I believe, 4 or 5. I don't really have a list filled up right now. I'm gonna have to pause and make one. But there is an abundance, not really an abundance, it's like 4 or 5, I'm stupid, of SMGs to acquire in this game. And of course, we're going to be upgrading all of them. Of course, doing it on the Reese, dealing out the Pack-a-Punch machine. And the challenge will probably be the easiest one, because SMGs are really good for points, they're really good for damage. The Thompson is easily a top 5 when Pack-a-Punched in this map. And I like going this way anyway, so that usually works out for me. Now if this does end up going on YouTube, this will be my first video. I'm gonna do videos with some of my other friends eventually. Really good friend of mine, we're probably gonna do a 1-box challenge with the 1 to record that in BO1. I'm not really counting on my luck for that challenge. Oh, shit. Almost got clapped there. Oh, alright. God damn it. Okay, so restarting from that failure. Like I was saying, there's probably going to be a lot more content once my friend gets ready to record. And we might do other games like Black Ops 2. Probably not Black Ops 3 though, because this hard drive doesn't really work, and that's what it's on. But yeah, we're gonna get into the challenge. Hopefully not die on round 2 like I did earlier, because the zombies in this game they stick to you like glue, you know? You knife them and you're just immediately stuck to them like cum in a sock, but... Let's see. Get over here with them. World of War 1911 is just so good, dude. Nothing good like stats-wise, but just it looks so good. I honestly think the BO1 1911 is a little overrated, in all honesty. It's just something about this one. It's got that kick, you know? Makes you know you're shooting it. It's also weathered and not dipped in chrome like the last one. Let's see, let's try not to die here again. Alright, that almost went bad. Okay, so the first SMG, if I can get to it, will have enough. 30 points off. Is, okay, just prepare the barrier. The first SMG on our list is going to be the M1 Thompson. Really a great gun in this game. Great gun in real life too. 45 ACP just really hits you. Also, just spreading freedom with this thing. Get off me. Also, spreading pure American subsonic freedom with this thing is just amazing.
KIA, maggot sack!
Ooh, it's good. The thing you can't do in this game, you can do with other games, is like if you move backwards while you're knifing, you would just swipe and not lunge. That is not the case in this game. So we're going, I don't know why I just walked into a wall. We're going to go up here, and we're going to drop down and turn on power. Hopefully get Jug. Maybe even spin the box and see if we can get an SMG. Hopefully not immediately die like last time. Gotta find him.
Didn't you hear? I'm a crack shot.
I honestly don't think double tap will be that useful for this challenge because SMGs already have a high rate of fire. It does increase DPS, but also, I mean, I feel like double tap 1 is kind of underrated. It's definitely one of the most underrated perks. Like, people complain that it wastes your ammo, but honestly, you can just stop shooting when the zombie dies, or like control your rate of fire, so it's really not that bad. I gotta say, another perk that's underrated would probably be honestly, if you didn't have 4 perk slots, I would say that it's probably Deadshot. I mean, it doesn't do anything on PC, but from what I remember in VO2, the size it decreased your crosshair to was like pinpoint levels of thin. Might die here. Ugh. Okay, so our next SMG we're gonna get is the Type 100. If I can afford it after I buy this door. Let's see, can I? Alright, yeah. So, our next SMG here, Type 100. Should probably link the telly too. This is also a pretty underrated SMG. Underrated gun in general, really. I mean, it is in a bad spot, but it's also... It's got decent ammo, does decent damage. It's really good when it's upgraded, as we'll hopefully find out, and not die along the way. Yes, double points. Alright, so I think our main strategy right now should be opening doors to get the teleporters, turn Pack-a-Punch on, and then we camp in that corner right there. Well, maybe not the corner, but like just over here. And we're dealing with dogs now. I gotta do my best ATF impression right now. Hold on. Ruby Ridge didn't happen. Waco was propaganda. Oh, don't die here. Don't die here. Alright, we're good. These dogs in World at War are really intimidating. Like, they take a lot of bullets. They run at you real fast. This is back when zombies was like true horror experience. You know what I mean? I figure while I got you guys here, we'll do a story time. So as you know, the modern education system is home to a lot of strange people. And, you know, I was, you know, it was the school building that I went to was there were only, it was probably about, I mean, it was pretty big. It was like definitely bigger than your average school, but there were only like 4 bathrooms in the whole building, and classrooms sometimes would be like maybe a 2-minute walk away from the bathroom. So that combined with you've only got around 4 or 5 minutes to do your business, and that's like even worse if you have to take a shit, which if you're taking a shit at school, that's concerning. I mean, it's like usable as a last resort, but I don't feel like you should do it. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I was running a little bit late to a class, I will admit, and you know, I was just sitting at the urinal trying to do my business, you know, trying to take care of the goods, trying not to have anyone stare at mine. And this guy comes in, and he out loud announces his arrival, his worthy presence to the entire restroom, which, mind you, is packed with a bunch of people because it's like not much bigger than a supply closet, you know. And oh, don't give me that. And there were 3 stalls and 4 urinals. Mind you, this is a school with easily like 600 people in it. And like I said, there's only like 4 bathrooms in this entire school, and that's including boys and girls bathrooms, like 2 boys, 2 girls, 1 cup, the whole deal. But it was, again, I'm getting off topic here. So he announces his arrival, his glorious conquest of the restroom, and he declares to the entire, I want to say gallery of the restroom, I'm gonna show y'all a new method to pissing. And he did. He definitely did. You know what he did? He dropped his pants, he let his ass cheeks out, and he sprayed that bitch. And upon seeing this, I immediately wanted to leave, and I did. And I did not go back for a while, until I did, when I had the inevitable why didn't you use the restroom before class? I lied and told them I was trying to get to class on time, and you know, they fell for that. I went back to this restroom, and I kid you not, in my mind, I hoped it was water, but the floor was very wet. There were a bunch of puddles. Either this was water that someone splashed from drying their hands, or like waving, like shaking their hands really hard to dry their hands, or that man, he is very hydrated, because if that is piss, that is very clear. That is a very healthy piss, which I will applaud him for. But also, I didn't go to the restroom that day, man. It still haunts me what that man did. But yeah, that was story time. I don't know if I have any other stories, honestly. Oh, I do got another one. There was a mandatory fun day at our school as well, and they were hyping it up the whole time. They were like, yo, you gotta come here, you gotta have fun. By the way, attendance is mandatory, and you will be counted absent if you don't show up. And I was like, cool, I guess. And you also had to sign up for any activity you were gonna do, because if you didn't sign up, you were just gonna, what we ended up doing, me and some of my friends, is we just went to a one of the rooms where they were playing movies. It was Sing 2. Not a horrible movie, not great, but we were just sitting there playing cards, and we got after about before that we were forced after the usual meeting we had in the gym of here is what's going to happen today, and if you did not sign up, what they initially had you do was you had to go to the football field, and you had to watch all of the people who signed up for football play football, and like they weren't using the whole field. The field was split in half. Like they spray painted a line down the middle, and there were 2 games of football going on, so it's now twice as boring. Also, because of the morning dew, all the seats are wet, and I have to watch boring, half-assed football with a wet one. I'm telling you, I went onto that seat, dude. My clothes took 20 minutes to dry. That's how wet that the bleachers were. And after about 2 hours of watching a boring football game we didn't want to watch, we decided to go back inside and go to the room where they were showing movies that I told you about earlier. Probably gonna die here. Oh. We did that for about 2 hours, and then one of my friends was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna see if I can." Oh wait, first I gotta tell you, we were trying to get into the library first because we didn't want to keep being in the room with a bunch of movies playing because we got bored.
Shit! Running low on ammo!
I had to fight because I had to clutch up there. Please don't die here. So, where's that? Okay, we got bored, and first we tried to go to the library. You could not leave that movie room without telling someone. I mean, obviously, but like they also wouldn't let us leave, and so we eventually just got out. I don't remember if we just snuck out or if we finally convinced them, but we went back outside to near the football field, and there was like this outside they were selling food like hot dogs and burgers and sodas, which, by the way, the burgers were $5 a pop, which is no can do, not very cheap. And we tried to tell them that we wanted to go to the library because we had to do a Bible study, and I thought that was pretty funny. And they did not buy it. But yeah, we went back inside, and we were pretty bummed out that we couldn't at least go somewhere fun to stay there for the 8 hours we were supposed to of mandatory fun that we didn't want. Fun isn't really fun when it's mandatory, But yeah, after that we were kind of bummed out. And then Quaid, he had left earlier while we were in the ring. He comes back inside, and he tells us that he spoke with one of the ladies outside, and he told us that we can just call to go home. At that very moment, the anger that was inside me, I swear, that's probably one of the most angriest moments I've ever had, because one, I had to watch football, which is a fate that no person should ever suffer. I had to watch it twice, which is a fate that not even 10 people should have combined. Like, you guys don't understand. It was like watching a Saints game, but worse. But yeah, I had to watch a football game with a wet ass. I had to play blackjack for about 2 hours as well, and all the time I could have been at home. It was just so aggravating, And so after that, you know, we went up to the front office. We took turns calling our parents, telling them, "Hey, is it alright if we go home?" Of course, oh, Browning can't take that. Of course, we were good to go, and you know, I ended up walking home. That was probably, I had a walk of shame heading home because of all I had to do without even knowing that I could just leave. You technically didn't even need to call home. You could have just left. But, you know, I wanted to make sure so I wouldn't get the ass chewing of a century when I got home. And, yeah, that was not fun. I'm trying to think of another one. There was, so it snowed, like, really bad over here, earlier that year. And it got on the roof of our school, but also, you know, please don't die here. The roof of the kitchen in the school was very thin. Like, and, you know, I think 8 inches we had of snow that were on that roof. It was not happy, and it caved in, and the rest of the whole cafeteria was declared not safe to be in anymore because obviously the whole roof could collapse. So what they ended up doing for a minute was they had our lunches cooked, and I mean cooked in quotations, because they really were just reheated, like all school lunches were, thanks Michelle Obama. But they were reheated at a different school, and then drove over here in trucks, which they were like moderately cold by the time they got to us. And then they were served in to-go trays. In the beginning, you would take your tray. You would get your food like outside of the office. They had a cart they rolled in there, and then you would take that. You would go to should probably get a job. You would go to a classroom of your choosing. I chose a history teacher all the time because my history teacher was cool as fuck. But you would choose a class to go to, and then you would eat in there, and then you would leave, of course, and then go to your next class. But eventually, they decided that this system, it worked too well. So what they did next was they cleared out the secondary gym that they use for like practice, not the actual gym that they use for games. And what they did was they did like the whole setup that was outside the office, but in this gym. They moved all the cafeteria seats in there, which, by the way, this doesn't sound so bad now, but the reason I didn't like it and the reason I completely hated it was because, okay, so the bathrooms, they were a 2-minute walk, right? The gym from the building is easily a 5-minute walk, which that, combined with the line, you might not even get your lunch, is what I'm trying to say. You might not have even gotten your lunch. And they did that for the rest of the year. They waited until 10 days before the school year was over to then start tearing the roof of the kitchen down, which they could have easily done earlier so that the roof could be fixed earlier. It's just, I didn't like it. Also, there was something that was pretty funny. People ended up sneaking fruit out of the cafeteria when they did that in the gym. And then they would start, when the lunch was over, they would head outside and start having food fights of fruit, which is way too good fruit, but it was still pretty funny. I don't know. School nowadays is very, very weird. There is one dude that subverted my expectations a lot, and I mean a lot. It was this fake hood dude. Like, whole 9 yards. He got the ice cream haircut, you know what I mean? Like the scoop haircut. He got a chain, sagging pants. He had Hello Kitty pants on a lot, which is weird. And he's not like a femboy. Like the rest of him is like fake gang, except for that. He was sagging Hello Kitty pajama pants, which was honestly pretty funny. But the way he subverted my expectations was just like you would suspect like a fake gang like him would be like uneducated, bad at reading, didn't pay attention. No, this dude was like, he had pretty good reading. He was like almost the most invested in the English class we were in.
Dude's just in. Dipsy is a fucking badass.
It was always funny because he would say all this gang stuff, and then he would sit in a chair and then be like all insightful with, you know, what does this line from Shakespeare mean? And you know, he would give the answer. It was really funny.
Eat someone else, freak bag.
Another cool story I have is, you know, I don't really want to make fun of this individual I'm about to talk about because he may be not entirely well in the head. I don't know.
That mainframe again.
But like he had glasses. He was a pretty hefty, thick man. He had long hair, neck beard. Like if you imagine your Redditor, but like a little lighter than that, like not too on the nose. That was him. And he was in my health class. And the way the health class worked is on Fridays we went to the gym every day. And if you weren't playing a sport, you had to walk a lap around the gym. And you know, he didn't really stop for anything, which was, I mean, more than I expected. But you know, he was still like light jogging, and I was still walking faster than him, which I never really ran. I just walked, and I was still somehow faster than him. But at one point, he which by the way, there are people in the bleachers watching because they also have classes that like they didn't have their teacher for, so they just had to go there. But yeah, they're watching. I'm just minding my business, you know, just walking laps. And you know, he reaches in. He reaches into his inner self and finds his chi, you know. And while running, he does this cool karate kick. I didn't see it. I heard it from these dudes who said, "Yo, did you see what he did?" And I was like, "No, what'd he do?" He did a karate kick. You should have seen it. I'm touching me. Please don't die here. God damn it. And one detail they left out that I found out later, his pants fell down when he did this.
Let's get turned back on.
And that explains probably why they were laughing as hard as they was, because without the pants falling down, it just would have been sad rather than funny. But yeah. He was a little weird. You know, you definitely, whatever you do, please do not end up like that guy. I'll give him a pass because, again, he may have not been all mentally there. But, you know, it's both funny and sad. Other than that, we're just gonna play Zoms.
Wonder how we
It might not even. This might not even be a challenge video. This might just be me dicking around in zombies and telling random stories like that. I might not even do the challenge. Honestly, at this point, the challenge is kind of like an afterthought. I might just do high rounds or try to do high rounds.